So welcome to Nürburgring for the first time this week for you, and we're off. 1975 German Grand Prix, even though the track itself looks pretty modern, to be fair. What are you doing? Get back. Usual shenanigans in this horrific first corner to Nürburgring. Like, if you want to design a car to cause trouble, well, that's it, right there. A little bit of bumping and tapping. Gotta keep our wits about us here as things get all bunched up and everyone's moving for positions and cars going wide and wheels are spinning on cold tires and things like that. And now you're wondering, okay, what the hell are you doing? Why are we cutting the track here? And also, why aren't we using the decent Nürburgring mod? Well, for the simple reason that we are not staying on the GP circuit today. We're going to go out into the forest. We're going to go on the Nordschleife. 1975, I think from what I've seen, was actually a relatively quiet year on the Nordschleife, which is a good thing. Considering next year this race would become known for Niki Lauda toasting himself, as seems to be nearly tradition at this track whenever it held a Grand Prix, that there'll be some form of disaster. And now we are on the Nordschleife. This is a relatively modern version of Nordschleife. Mod's ancient, version's modern. Back in the day, probably less barriers. To be fair, in 1975, someone sort of realised if you're going to build a track like this through the forest, you probably need barriers. Yeah, might be a good idea. Qualified absolutely awful. First of all, because it's the Nordschleife, and you know, can't go faster. Like some people can. And second of all, as you can expect, qualifying takes absolutely ages because the track is so long. So I did one lap and went, yeah, that's enough. Because 3 laps is enough in one dose, otherwise they'll overdose on Nordschleife. And that's a very bad thing to happen. Usually doesn't end well. Whoa, as we push the gravel. And we go down into the foxhole. Favourite section of the Nordschleife. I remember doing this for the first time in a sim. It was definitely one of those, oh wow. As we whacked there. You may notice and start booing and hissing that, oh, you didn't take damage, you idiot. Why isn't half the car flailing off? I'm running a slightly different approach to this. Usually I let the race go on the first few corners and then turn damage on, because the AI can be, you know, they can be the AI at the starts, and that'll be sort of shitty to suffer race damage for the whole of the race because of the AI. But that takes away half the challenge in Nordschleife, so I give myself 2 warnings. That's 1 warning. After 2 hits to the barrier, damage turns off, and what happens happens. So if we crash out at the end of this lap, so be it. That was that. Very high attrition rate, as you'd expect in these Grand Prix at the Nordschleife. It seems more or less, if half the field finished, it was a good day. In any case, this is very much a race where you race the track and not the drivers. I know you're supposed to do that anyway, but we should be able to hold off the car behind us, and the 2 guys in front of us have waltzed off into the sunset. The field really breaking up, as you'd expect. There's a great equalizers in racing. One is rain, the other is the Nordschleife. So the field has completely destroyed itself. They're still throwing up a lot of dirt though. So they may not last long if they keep pushing like this. Oh, Jesus. Also, people take notes, that's how you build a chicane. It's to scare the absolute shit out of you every time you take it. You see, now, here's one of the issues with this mod. That obviously it's about as... It's reasonably accurate, to be fair, but it's not, you know, that accurate. Because it's a... You know, it's a mod. What do you expect? That being said, it's still quite good, and you can learn the Nordschleife off it. But when you jump from Corsa with a laser scan Nordschleife to this, you got essentially you got to adapt to a much harder version. This is harder than the laser scan Nordschleife. So if you're beating world records in this track, go rent yourself a stupidly powerful car, go to Nordschleife and, you know, take all the glory because you're going to do it. Because essentially the approach to the mod in this was, you know, we hear the Nürburgring is stupidly dangerous, stupidly difficult. If our mod does not reflect that, well, it's not good enough. So they made quite a difficult track. A lot of the elevations are exaggerated, which is the difficulty. But still, it makes it quite fun. And I still can't get that corner. I keep thinking it's the other blind left-hander around this section that you have to keep tight on the left. Otherwise you'll literally throw yourself into the grass. Here it is here. See, you have to keep tight on the left because you're going to land on the other side of the road. So, but on that one, you have to do the opposite because the grass is... Because the road kinks to the right after the crest. So you have to sort of throw yourself to the centre and right so that you still land on tarmac on the other side. Now would you look at that, we're nearly a lap down. I say that, we still have Tiergarten in this corner, which in the stock car extreme version I never got right. And even though I can do it in the Corsa version, I still fear that corner simply from the amount of times I've crashed and spun there on a version with a bit of a glitchy polygon in the middle of the road. Nothing to do with the actual track layout, just a glitchy polygon, and that has scared me. So I'm slower there. Nice draft train is forward behind us as we blast to Tiergarten. This is another stupidly fast corner. I just want to sit in it. One of the things I want to do before I die is sit in that corner and watch a field of the 24-hour cars go through there. Because that looks awesome. It'd be nice to go back to Nürburgring. Funnily enough, this was the first ever racing circuit I visited and actually saw race cars on. Talk about, you know, diving in the deep end. You know, of all tracks to visit, hey, this one. That being said, my first actual race to go to was Le Mans 24 Hours, so diving in the deep end seems to be something I do. You know, most people's first race, say, you know, is a local national series or something like that. You know, mine. Fuck it, it's Le Mans 24 Hours, one of the biggest races in the world. First track I visited, the Nürburgring, one of the most legendary tracks in the world. They're actually running F3 practice here when I visited, so that was pretty cool. So the Formula cars I saw were Formula 3 cars. Probably why I have a soft spot for them, even though they deserve nothing off me. So it's pretty cool, actually. And it sort of puts in perspective how big the Nürburgring is. Because the Downer Ho, right? The very long straight at the end of the lap. The main road from Koblenz and the Rhine Valley. The main road from that to get to Nürburgring goes along that long straight. I'll be honest, it takes you 3 minutes driving along to notice that you're actually next to the track. And then you continue along it for another 5 minutes. It's that long. You know, to drive at that road car speed. It is stupidly long. And it was also funny because when I visited, it was on a school tour. So obviously only about like 5 other idiots of the 120 of us actually knew what the hell the Nürburgring was, apart from racetrack. Actually appreciated what the hell it was. And it took some convincing to tell the others, hey, the track's right next to us. And like, no, it's not the track. Like, we're 5 minutes away from the track. What are you on about? That track can't be out here. And then we explained to them the whole track is 22 kilometers long, and they're like, whoa, oh well. That's kind of impressive. While I've been rambling, the cars ahead have gained 2 seconds on us as we go deep into this corner again. Don't worry, I'll get it right next time. So yeah, to actually see this place in person, to see the fucking scale of this track, it's something else. Literally, it adds about 15 minutes onto most journeys out of Nürburgring to get around the bloody track. That's crazy shit. There's also the actual village of Nürburgring is actually completely surrounded by the racetrack, which I think is awesome. So much so that, from what I've seen on Google Maps, have not gone that far. When we visited, it was obviously a school tour, it's sort of a get in, get out sort of thing. The actual, since the town is actually had to expand about 2 kilometers away from the actual original village because the racetrack is in the way. There's in one part of the village at the north of the Grand Prix circuit, and the other is at the other end of the Grand Prix circuit off the hairpin. I see some dust in the air. Do you see it over the hills? That's kind of cool. No other opposition word. This is not going to be a great week for the results, but this track is just about surviving. It's very much a track, at least we're not last. Yeah? The whole point of this track is say, yes, I did it, I didn't die. This section is pretty fun as well. As I said, last lap. Then the crazy chicane. Not as half as crazy as it could be in a F1 car, but I imagine that'd be actually quite fun on the Formula Vintage. Set of course on the old Maserati, like from 1958. That car in the Nordschleife is a lot of fun, as well as the Lotus 49. If you haven't taken the Lotus 49 for a lap around the Nordschleife, what are you doing with your life? When this video is done, go do that and thank me later. Or not. You'll probably actually try hunt me down and hurl stones at me for giving you a heart attack, taking about 10 years off your life. So hope that doesn't happen. Hope you have a good time. I'd say this is a bad combination at all. The Formula Retro takes this track like duck to water. Like the duck is in boiling water, but you know, it's the sense. Actually, in Automobilista news, the GT3 mod came out this week. I have to get around to getting that and testing it, but that should be must download for anyone with a half interest in GT cars to own this game. It's a good quality mod. But yeah, I need to get that and run the GT3 cars around here, because say what you want about GT3, but bring about the Nordschleife and sudden new respect for GT3. Like, the 24 hours is insane. What you think of GT3 cars, you know, that is a crazy race. Whoa. Getting some air there. That's the trick of this circuit. Because a lot of these crests are so sharp, you end up in the air quite a bit. And part of the thing you learn with this track is not just braking points, turning points and corners. As I butchered that corner. Didn't hit the barrier, doesn't count as a warning. But you have to learn when you're in the air. Like, there are certain points of the track that even if you don't expect it, you will go in the air, and you have to either adopt your line to not go in the air, or embrace the fact that you are in the air. You know, such as not steering mid-air and landing. So make sure you land square and, you know, and don't kill yourself. These guys in the last sector of that lap really closed up the gap. Though to be fair, by Nordschleife standards, this is a pretty close battle. Better not make any mistakes then. They took that easy, the guys behind didn't. But we seem to have him on the first half of the Nordschleife, and finally, we are on the last lap. The third lap. Yeah, 1 lap to go, but there's still about 8 minutes left in this race. Also because the Nürburgring makes it slightly awkward for a video. Because it may turn out to be slightly shorter than usual, or maybe the exact length. I'm not fully sure. Compared to normally, but 4 laps would definitely be an extra long one. 2 laps would be too short, so we have to go with 3 laps. Which I think will work out decently, actually. My only gripe with this mod, apart from the track inaccuracies, which I can excuse because they can't be helped really, is the fact that looking back behind us, you see a hill. No. The Nürburgring, the GP circuit, is on top of the hill. Everything else is valley, except when we turn around this corner, except that hill right in front of us. That's the only hill that is higher than the GP circuit for a good bit. And that's the hill that the Nordschleife goes around. So all the other hills, inaccurate, even though if you look closely you'll notice it's just one texture that's just rounded around the whole thing, so that's why. Now because of that, when I actually did visit Nürburgring, I was surprised that it was actually so high up, because with no other reference I took this version, this mod, I took this version of Nürburgring as gospel. Awesome. Before this video is out, oh dude! Well, you know what that is. How come I never get the invulnerability right? Right, so there's one position gone. Carlos Pace, he should not be back here. He must have been getting severely held up. He's way faster than us. So it's not too bad that he's gone. But yes, that's our second warning. So invulnerability is off. Oh dear. But yes, this first sector of the Nordschleife. If you're designing a track, take notes, please, because this is the first sector of gods. You know, it's so fast with technical corners. You know, if you're gonna do a first sector, this is how you do it. At least Circuit in America's got this right. Their first sector. It actually got me thinking during practice. Tracks with good first sectors. There's an interesting thing. Just if you've got nothing else to do with your life, try to think of first sectors and think of particularly good first sectors. Not the rest of the lap, just the first third of the lap. Obviously for Nordschleife I'm discounting the GP sort of add-on that starts off this lap technically, because that's essentially is the sprint version of the GP circuit, which in the words of Les Cubes is an abortion of a track. 24 hours version is good. That's actually my favourite version of the Nordschleife, because it takes in the full GP circuit, which is decent, and adds on to Nordschleife, so essentially it's more Nürburgring for your buck, and I can't say no to that. So yes, get thinking. First sectors of tracks, they are very good. Right. More dust flying up. There must be a spot where the AI constantly hit. I think I spotted there one of those cars is missing its front wing, so the fact that he's still going, fair play to you. Even though you are a computer and literally a robot, so this should be a piece of cake for you. Okay. Okay, I may have taken things slightly easier there. That's because this is the last lap. I do not want to mess it up. We've held off the cars behind us for this race so far. To be honest, this is a better result than I expected. If it stands, we still have about, what? At least 5 kilometers to go? Probably more? Geez, we've more like 8 kilometers left. Or 10 even. I'm actually not even sure. So yeah. That's the funny thing about the Nürburgring. You're like halfway through the last lap. You still have 10 kilometers to go. Which is, you know, what, 2 or 3 laps of anywhere else. Right. I think in all these 3 laps I've nailed the carousel, which is a personal best. 3 in a row. I'll take it. Right, Lafitte has found pace. He's figured it's the last lap. He's figured that we're coming up to my poor section. That he better make a move. And could it be we have some sort of battle on this last sector of the Nürburgring? 1975 German Grand Prix. Take curb because I'm mad. Over the crest of this hill. This section is so tricky because of the elevations. You have to be so careful with putting down the power that you time it just right, because you do not want to be at the crest of a hill when you put the power down. We go. I'm going to stay right here. Good. No, didn't say right enough. Thought I made that. Slight wheel spin. Another jump. Hold it together. He's right up our backside. Please don't hit me, you idiot. Please take this flat like I do. Oh, no, no, no! And the pressure got to me. But we still have some distance left and the thing is spinning. We've no rear wing. Oh no. Really? That wasn't the last few cars? Well, I had my warnings anyway. If we're supposed to be harsh, that should have happened ages ago. But as we spin out wildly, and thankfully our rear wheels get some traction again, we will make it home. Because I did not do all of this to lose. Oh dear. Some bits of this may be sped up as I flail about trying to get this car home. Because we're not getting a DNF here. I'll take last place, but I won't take a DNF. Tires are now cubes. Can't put the power down because the rear gets away so easily. Steering's messed up, which doesn't help with trying to keep the car under control. I could probably deal with that if the steering wasn't messed up. That's probably the rear suspension damage we got. I know, this is going to be fun. The Donner Hole at about half speed. As if the straight wasn't long enough. Oh, it is. Take some what? Who invited Madalano to this race? You're not even supposed to be born yet, you idiot. Yeah, you idiot. Come on. What's that about? Like, come on. What are you doing? You sit there and think about what you've done. You may not make it, but I will. How the hell did he hit me? To be fair, idiot, you're on the racing line on half speed, and that guy has proved himself to be an idiot. No wonder he hit you. Somehow there is still a car behind me. You know what that says? There's still a car behind me? I think that says it all. That there are still cars behind me. Like a glove. Oh, okay, that's it then. And we are, apart from that guy who's got himself stuck on the track. It's just easier to drive this bloody thing in reverse. It wants to go around so much. Well, look at... Oh, I thought I was about to show off some track knowledge. And I showed off nothing. Right. I haven't got any wrong way warnings yet. Which is good. There's a yellow flag out because there's some idiot trying to complete this lap in reverse because somehow the car is more steady reverse. Probably because reverse gear is inherently limited. Oh! Oh no, that's pit lane. We are going to cross the actual line. And we're going to do it in reverse for some reason. Because why the hell not? Hopefully there's no rule against this. And there we go. That is the German Grand Prix. I'm nearly tired just from doing that. There's only 3 bloody laps. How the hell did these guys survive for 14 laps? How? Just how? As I said before, this was not a week for results, but more just surviving. As you can see, we were the last place finishing car. That idiot that hit us never finished, which is deserving, because that was a stupid thing. It's like beating someone when they're already down. Niki Lauda stormed away in a Ferrari 1-2 with Fittipaldi behind them, which does nothing for the top of the championship. Some movement here and there in the championship. James Hunt moves up, Jean-Pierre Jarier moves up, Pallier moves up. But they only move up 1 or 2 spots, not major. Niki Lauda, though, has once again extended his lead. I'm sick of saying this every week. Likelihood is he will either win the championship in Italy or Austria. I'm not sure. I'll have to grab the calculator and get that out for this. Otherwise, though, yeah, the fact that I got 2 laps together on the Nordschleife, even with admittedly my warnings, shall we say, the fact that we managed to pull that off as long as we did, hell, I'll take that. That's good enough for me. So yes, we return to a more civilized track next week. I believe it's Austria. Yeah, civilized. Oh, that's gonna be fun when we get there.